Donald Trump, Fox News host apologizes after accidentally calling U.S. President a dictator. In some ways, Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un are pretty similar. They're both men with a short fuse. They're both suspicious of U.S. media. And they both have their fingers on the nuclear button. But you'd have to be pretty brave to call them both dictators. That's just what a bungling Fox News host did, however, as the pair landed in Singapore for a first-of-its-kind summit. Abby Huntsman later apologized for her comments on TV as Trump stepped out of Air Force One. She said during Fox and Friends, "This is history, we are living history. Regardless of what happens in the meeting between the two dictators, what we are seeing right now, this is history." Later she admitted, "I do want to point out that earlier, as you know on live TV sometimes you don't always say things perfectly. I called both President Trump and Kim Jong-un a dictator. I did not mean that, my mistake, so I apologize for that." North Korean media today hailed a new era and Trump tweeted there was excitement in the air. In a heady build-up to the summit in Singapore, the U.S. president is expected to be alone in a room with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un for up to 2 hours when they meet from 2 a.m. UK time on Tuesday. Only translators will be present for the meeting at a luxury Singapore resort, a U.S. official said, suggesting there will be no aides or note-takers, a highly unusual move. Officials could then drop in for a further hour, but they admitted, "We will not be surprised by any scenario." Trump himself has said he could make a decision in the first minute or spur of the moment, raising the possibility he could make a commitment with no aides or note-takers present. Both leaders were kicking their heels today after arriving more than 24 hours early, while their officials rolled the pitch with 2 hours of initial talks. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said the initial talks, thought to focus on nuclear weapons and sanctions, were moving quite rapidly. "We anticipate that they will come to their logical conclusion even more quickly than we anticipated," he added. Pompeo dropped a strong hint the U.S. could scale back its presence in South Korea as he vowed to give Kim unique assurances on security. But he said sanctions will remain and the objective has not changed. The U.S. wants verifiable and irreversible denuclearization of North Korea. Trump, who turned 72 this Thursday, was presented with his cake at a lunch meeting with Singapore's Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong. Lobster bisque, beef tenderloin and ice cream were also on the menu.